Austin, you might have heard, we're getting
Austin's first light rail line.
Plans moving forward to build a new light rail line here in Austin.
But it's not just a big investment in public transit. It's a big investment in our city. Experts even say
it's also an economic development project. It's a quality of life project.
This is Devon Barber, president and CEO of the Downtown Austin Alliance. He's focused on making sure our downtown is a thriving place for businesses and people.
For us to be competitive as a city, as a region, we absolutely must invest in public transit.
So how exactly will this investment benefit businesses and drive economic growth for Austin? Let's explore the 4 big ways, starting with jobs. 2,300 Texas businesses will have the opportunity to help build the light rail with an economic impact of $35 billion for the state. Locally, this translates to $589 million in labor income, creating 7,250 new jobs. And that's all kinds of jobs, from construction crews and engineers to accountants and artists. And when it's operational, it will create more than 1,150 transit jobs and provide access to more than 200,000 jobs locally along the line. Office jobs, food service jobs, healthcare jobs, and jobs at iconic Austin small businesses like the ones run by
I am Tegan Hahn, CEO of Wildbat Music Inc., which includes Toy Joy, Austin Rocks, and Yummy Joy.
As the cost of living in the city has risen, her stores have come to rely on workers who must commute.
The more our city grows and expands, the more important I think it is, especially for small businesses, to be able to have reliable commuting options for their staff.
And creating a dependable way to get around the city that's also affordable means more places will be more accessible to more workers, which leads us to the next way light rail benefits Austin's economy: spending. Our city's new light rail will run right through the heart of Austin, providing an easy way to get to countless restaurants, stores, entertainment venues, and cultural institutions. From an urban planning perspective,
I think it's a potential real game changer.
Meet John Rigdon, the Chief Planning and Design Officer at Waterloo Greenway.
And I think it'll create this virtuous cycle where people are like, I got to go down there. I can spend a whole day. I can patronize all these great businesses, visit our cultural and arts centers, and then, catch an affordable light rail back to my neighborhood or park and ride and not have to fight through any traffic or drive in circles looking for $25 parking.
Creating more access for customers not only drives spending at existing businesses, it's also been proven to drive new business development. Every dollar spent on public transit projects in America generates on average $6 in local economic activity. And you can see this in action in places like Charlotte, where their Lynx Blue Line has generated $2.7 billion in completed or planned development since it opened. In Dallas, where their DART system generated $5.1 billion. And Phoenix, where their Valley Metro Light Rail is credited with generating $17.5 billion in new development since it opened in 2008. So what might our light rail do for development?
It's going to just be a very positive thing for current and then very much so for future generations.
This is Michael Piano, a principal at Presidium, a highly awarded real estate development firm based in Texas with dozens of large-scale projects in Austin.
First and foremost, certainty that the rail is coming, and then ultimately being implemented is going to really create a certainty of infrastructure investment that will attract additional investment from private capital. Focusing on where transit's going to be is very important to where we're looking to build.
So the light rail will benefit locals in all these ways, but locals won't be the only ones who ride it. Visitors will too. And that brings us to the final way light rail will help Austin's economy: tourism. Every year, more than 30 million tourists make their way to Austin, pumping $9 billion into our local economy. A big reason why is because
we're such a beautiful city. In Texas, so we really hit every single driver for hospitality tourism. It's an attraction.
This is Tom Noonan, President and CEO of Visit Austin. And he sees how the new light rail and its extension to the airport will make Austin an even more desirable destination for travelers.
Think about that. So you're coming in for Formula One, you're coming in for ACL, you're coming in for South by, and to be able to land at the airport, and you can take an Uber obviously, but now you can just get on the light rail and come downtown. You don't need a rental car. You're going to get downtown. You're going to be able to enjoy those experiences, and it just makes it seamless.
Light rail is the biggest public transit investment in the history of Austin, but it's also a big investment in our city's future, because it won't just be a vehicle for passengers, it will be a vehicle for economic growth, now, during construction, and long after it's completed. An Austin Transit Partnership is proud to be leading the way forward. Follow the progress at yalaboard.org.